All right, guys. I'm not going live to do the drawing for the 395. I was going to, but just with the schedule I've got, it's hard for me to sit down. Not that I don't want to talk to y'all live or whatever. I'm going to try to do a live sometime in the near future. But it's something as important as this is to some people. You know, excuse me. But as important as this is to some people, I mean, you know, this saw could really up somebody's game, you know, if they need it or whatever. And some people may already have saws like it. But either way, it's a great saw. It's a strong saw if you don't have a big saw. So I wanted to go through and I could do all of it live, but I'd rather just do it this way. That way, when I do go live, I can have time to look at people's comments, answer questions, and things like that. So with this, I'm going to do this different. It's going to take me a minute, but I've got these sheets of paper that I went through every video that I posted since I stated the drawing. And I know some of you has been posting afterwards, but the contest stopped once we hit 3,000, and I thought I made that clear, but maybe I didn't. It's okay that you write it on there or whatever. I still enjoy the comments and whatnot, but, you know, the next giveaway, and there's not going to be any numbers. I'm going to go through the comments probably and see who's paying attention. You know, if you write something that I did in that video, or like a lot of you that do, a lot of you that put these numbers in, you comment on my videos anyway. You comment, you know, yeah, that 592 cut good or whatever, or, you know, that 572 was really strong. And I will say a few things in the video and you'll be like, yeah, I have that same problem. You know, that lets me know that you watched the video, at least up until that point. And, did some cutting today, and you know, every time I cut, I get a little pollen's up in Kentucky. It's warming up. It's a beautiful day. So there is going to be no rhyme or reason to the next giveaway. I'm just going to go through the comments and I'm going to pick somebody. So if you're commenting on the videos, keep commenting and you'll be entered to win. And I may do a little something. They've got like a members only club or something, and like where you can charge or whatever. I don't know that if I've threw that around, but I really hate to charge people for a giveaway. You know, like members only, you get special perks and everything. And you know, it may be a deal to sometime in the future I do a members only thing, and you know, I ain't gonna set the fee terribly high, but maybe once every 6 months, I'll give a saw away or something. Even if it's not one of my saws, maybe a, you know, the saw that money buys. And you know, it's kind of like a raffle or buying tickets, you know, because you're doing the monthly membership, but there's a chance for you to win something. And I may do it to where once you win doing that thing, everybody has a chance to win, is what I'm getting at. We'll see how it goes. Y'all can let me know what you think about that. You know, like just per se, you know, I said that at $25 a month or $20 a month. If I got 10 or 15 people in there or whatever, you know, it's a couple $100. At 6 months, that would be $1,200. I'd be able to go buy a saw and you know, give it away. And then whoever's got it, you only got $25 for 6 months. You know, that's $150 in that saw. And I'll go through that and do that. And it depends on how many people's in the members only and all that kind of stuff, and if I can figure it out. But anyway, that's something I tossed around, and you get it where I'm going at with it, so let me know about that. And I'm going to go get something to drink in a minute. But I'm not going to edit any of this because I want it all to be true. These are all the old names for the old drawings. I'm throwing them away. I'm going to use the same coffee can, but I'm getting rid of the names in it. They're going in the trash because, you know, we're not going to do any more giveaways like that. But these are the pages with everybody that participated. If you're, you know, and so like I say, it's gonna take me a minute, but we're gonna cut them up, wad them up, and get through it. You know, if you wanna win, you can skip through this. But I'm doing this to show that that I'm not janking or rigging the drawing. Because me, I'm giving away the saw. It doesn't really matter to me who wins. All of you are subscribers. All of you done what I asked you to do. And so, to me, whoever wins deserves it. I love that saw, and you know, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times I've thought I could have given away any other saw but that one, because I'll probably never have another Mastermind 395 in my life, and I may be wrong. But you know, I could have. But to me, I'm just more hip to the newer saws. I like the newer saws. I did some cutting today, and you can see some of the saws I hadn't cut with since the winter or cold weather, and right out of the gate, before I could even cut, I had to do tuning on the carburetor, and you know. Those, I'm not gonna lie to tell, those auto tune saws have really got me spoiled. They really, really have. You know, it's just one of them deals. They do really, because they're so simple. You know, you just start it and run it. That's all there is to it. So, I wish I had like a tray to cut these on, and then I could wad them up. You know. But it's going to take me a minute. And I did run some saws today that was, and I'm going to put this video out first. And I'll try to ship this saw as soon as I can. You know, after the drawing. I've got boxes and tape for it, so I'm not lacking in that department. Some giveaways, you know, I have been lacking. I have to go get a box or whatever. My post office is kind of picky about how they do stuff, you know. I'm fixing to cut the side off that one. I ain't got to cut as much paper. Get this thing. They're a little picky on what kind of stuff they take, so. But I've got plenty of saws. Honestly, pretty much anymore, I can afford to get rid of some of them, a lot of them, because pretty much anymore, all I ever run is that Aaron A. Lynch 562 and Cajun built 572. And I do have intentions on possibly getting the 500i and that 400 ported. I don't know if Cajun and Aaron mess with those any. The steel saws, I have no idea, but you know, I'd like to find somebody that's a good porter to do it, you know. If anybody's got any good ideas, names of people that port good, which I know there's a few guys. I just you know, I know Charles Briscoe does. I know Cajun Aaron A. Lynch ports. I know you know, Novice Lumberjack ports. Mastermind would port them, but I'm wanting something. Gary Buxton at Buxton Work Saws, I think that he'd port them. I talked to him about porting Kevin Levanway. I'd like to get Kevin Levanway to port them. Honestly, I talked to him once, and I was going to send him some saws, and of course things come up. I needed the saw. Honestly, I was a little nervous about sending the saw out, because I sent that 395 out, and it was gone for a pretty good while, you know. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm trying to talk, multitask, keep it somewhat interesting, and keep it to where y'all are. I'll just watch me cut paper. But, you know, he had it quite a while, which I knew he would. He told me he was extremely busy when I sent it. But I think in the shuffle, my saw got kind of set back, and so it took a little longer than it normally does, which I wasn't mad. I had other saws to run. But at the time, I was really digging the 500 and the 400C, and I honestly just hated to turn loose of them because of how well they ran. And now that I've got that 572 and that 562, I've got something that cuts better, and you know, I get that steel done, that 400C, and if the person that's porting it ports it right, you know, nothing against Darren or Cajun, but those two steel saws should outrun the 572 and the 562 because they're just bigger CC, you know. You know, if you got both saws ported, or both, you know, all four of those saws ported, it only makes sense for the 500i and the 400C to outrun or outcut, be stouter than, whatever you want to call it, you know, the 400C or the Husky saws. And I get that, that's fine. But yeah, I may get somebody on them here fairly quick. But I've been out cutting today. I fell a hazard cherry tree. I did forget my hard hat, which is not, I didn't forget it. I did forget it. It wasn't in the truck. I wasn't really anticipating on cutting that tree. I was only going to go buck that pine blowdown down, and then I seen that one, and I thought, you know, while I'm up here and stuff, I'm going to cut that, get it out of here. That way, if somebody's mowing this lot, then, you know, on a windy day, a limb don't fall out and rock them, you know, and everything. So, but there's a lot of you that your name's in here multiple times. Same few like Jersey Josh, Danny Welchel, Michael Kirk, Bait and Ammo, Nameless Yee, Aaron Milburn, Jimbus Maximus, Justin Weaver, Redman, Josh Sweet, Nameless Yee. There's just there's a few here and there. Southern Firewood got in there a couple times. I didn't list everybody who was entered. I didn't think about doing that, but Sean Wilson, Aaron Milburn, I may have done said that. They say JK Saw Shop was in there a couple times, once or so. I just cut that name in half, but I know what it was. Y'all know who you are that done it, especially a bunch. I think Wayne Anderson was in there, maybe, I can't remember. I think I remember seeing Yenner M, or YENER M was in there quite a bit. I actually took the time to go through and do this, so I'm not skimping anybody. Like I say, I'm not hand picking people. If I was going to do that, I wouldn't take the time to do all this. I would just left all them names in there and drew something or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But I want everybody to know that whoever wins this has won it fair and square, and that there will be no edits in this. I'm loading it straight up, no matter how long it takes. And who wins it, it's who you got. Because like I say, that it's a pretty big money saw. About, you know, you buy one, and then by the time you pay for the port work. But back to getting the 500 and the 400 ported, you know, you can get them ported, but you're still going to have a whole lot. By the time I get those ported, I'm going to have a whole lot more money in them than I do the 572 and the 562. a whole lot more money. So it kind of depends on what you want. And don't get me wrong, all these saws cut good. You wouldn't have to get near one of them ported. They cut well enough. Because like I say, nobody's running to a tree 90% of the time. It's just nice to have the power, the extra power when you want it. Or if you need it or whatever, you know, it really is. And all the other stuff I do to them, you don't have to do that. The billet clutch cover, you know, does help on the 500i if you're running a longer bar or you're kind of rough on material because it won't bust. You know, I've heard that they have trouble with them busting. I probably would never bust one, you know, because I don't do it every day, just day in, day out. But I do use all my saws pretty regular. You know, I cut quite a bit of trees. And so Josh, Jade Owens in there some. Halsman 300's in there quite a bit. William Bream's in there quite a bit. If I didn't name his. Mitch Issel or Sell or something. ISSEL. Sorry if I butcher your names. I'm just a dumb old hillbilly, golly. I didn't get past the 3rd grade. That's only a joke. That ain't funny. Because unfortunately, you know, there are people who are like that, and not taking anything away from them, because some of the wealthiest people I know, you know, never went to school hardly. Wealth, I don't think comes from school or how many years of school you went to. And I know I'm getting deep into shit now that got nothing to do with saws, but I think it comes from street sense. Because I've met really people that's really boot smart and probably way better scholar than I ever thought about being, but they don't know how to hustle and make money, you know. They ain't got no common sense about them. And a lot of times, no matter what you're doing, to make money, and lots of it, you got to work hard and really put some time into it. And, you know, I've never seen a wealthy man just have one source of income. They got all kinds of different things going on, you know. So if you look at somebody and you're thinking, man, must be nice to be them, they've got a lot or whatever, whatever the case may be, take that and turn it into some motivation and just work hard. If it ain't nothing but cleaning out gutters, raking yards, cutting firewood or whatever, you know, put that money aside and hustle. I buy stuff and flip stuff sometimes, not as much as I used to, but you know, I'd buy something, a couple $100, sit on it a minute, or find somebody that wanted it worse than me, and you know, try to make $200 or $300 on it. We sell pumpkins in the fall, you know. I cut trees on the side. Before I cut trees, I built decks. My construction background, I built decks, did home remodeling, framing, just a little bit of this and that on the side. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I know how to do quite a bit, and I'm not great at just the greatest at none of it. But like me, when I was younger, and still, I didn't have extra money to pay anybody to do anything. Anything that ever got done around my house, or this house, or whatever, you know, got done, me, my wife, or whatever, and the kids, you know, we all pitched in and done it. And did everything always turn out perfect? No, but it got done well enough that we was pleased with it, and it didn't cost us arm and leg. You know, all vehicle maintenance, for the most part, unless it's just like rebuilding a motor or something, but for the most part, something that got to be done, plumbing, you know, like my son's toilet was leaking. my wife set the commode and hooked it up, you know, so like we just coming to that, you know, we try not to spend money where we don't have to, just do it ourselves. And that helps in a sense. So, you know, and it's just like tree, that's how I got started doing tree work. Somewhat like when I was younger, my family, you know, logged some, farmed and logged, and I helped my great uncle log some and farm, and I never was really a tree cutter then, mostly just a cable dragger, hooking them up, whatnot, and running and getting this, whatever. But you know, so I had seen quite a bit of it done, and of course, then at one place we lived when we were out in the country, we had a Hardy wood burning stove, so I cut a lot of firewood. I'd cut trees down if people needed them for firewood, and then I would cut places that had already been logged or whatever. And so, you know, I knew how to run a chainsaw, and fairly decent. I'm not saying I'm the best by no means. Hell, I still get pinched quite a bit all the time, but I thought that was a name. So, but anyhow, we moved up here to town, and you know, my lot this is, I don't know, maybe a half acre, maybe not even a half acre, and the whole back part of it, it's driveway. Y'all have seen it out there where I cut, and then the front part. But we had like 10 or 12 big, I think it was 10 maybe, big white oak, red oaks, and maples. And you know, well, some of the oaks, you know, veneered out, stave oaked out, whatever you want to call it. They was 30 inches or bigger on the small end of the log, like a 12-foot log. So, but anyway, I had called a couple tree services to come give me a quote on the tree work, and you know, they was a couple of them come by, and then a couple of them said they was gonna come by and never showed up. And the ones that come by was like, yeah, we'll do them. It'd be $700 a tree, so I got 10 trees, so it's $7,000. They're gonna take all the logs, and I, you know, being around it before in the past, you know, I wasn't done. I was like, man, these got, you know, they're yard trees, but I done talked to the mill, and I asked him, and he just lived right down the street. You know, I did a little cruise with the phone earlier, but he just lived right down the street from me. I called him up and was like, would you be interested in my trees, or my logs out of these trees up here? And he's like, where are you talking? I said, in my yard, I'm gonna get them cut. And he said, oh yeah, I'll buy them. And so, but anyhow, I decided not to pay $7,000 to get my tree done, and then get my logs as well. And I'm not taking anything away from tree services, because I do it now myself, and you know, it's a lot of work. It was a lot of work in those trees, but I just didn't want to spend $7,000, you know, like that. And so thought about it. I took off work a week, rented me a lift, the 60-foot lift like we use on the job sites, aerial lift, whatever you want to call it, because some of them's pretty tall. I had a 60-foot or 60-foot lift, I think, and there's probably still some of them 30 foot above me. The tall, I'd say it was little limbs, and they was all around my house and everything. And so I got that lift, had it for a week. I took off work for a week. So when I started doing them, I just started knocking limbs out of every tree. I got them down to the stem, you know, and my whole yard was nothing but brush. Like, it took us at least a good month, because I done it in the fall, winter, whatever. It took us a good month to get the brush cleaned up. And well, I had that 24-foot gooseneck. I'd rick it on there just like you would in a yard, or in, you know, like I got up there against that fence. And I took 2 trailer loads off like that. I sold some of it, give some of it away. And then so I got all that messed up. Luckily, the city where I live, they'll come and pick your brush up, which is, they had a lot of brush to pick up, you know. Piled it around the yard. I had enough little small brush that wasn't firewood size stacked around my yard. It was like a fence. It was probably 5 foot high, the whole perimeter of my yard. And then I fell the stems, and of course, you know, I had access to that trailer that I use now, and logged them up, took them up there, and I think I made like $2,200 off the log. So the lift rental was pretty expensive. I think it was like $1,800 for them for the week that they delivered it, because it had to be brought on semi, dropped it off, blah 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 blah. So what I'm getting at, you know, doing that myself, I didn't make a ton of money, but I didn't have to pay $7,000, and I think I ended up coming out probably, by the time I sold firewood and the extra out of the logs, you know, I come out maybe $600, $800 a head, if that, maybe $500. But when I did that, then everybody, you know, I live in a pretty good sized subdivision here, and everybody from the main road can see what I'm doing. So then I got the people when I was working on to be driving by, they'd be like, hey, I got a tree. You care to come look at it and see if you can cut it? Hey, I got a tree. I got like 3 or 4 or 5 trees just in a matter of weeks after that, after I'd done that. And then I just started doing it from the side, on the side. And when I started doing it, when I started doing it, I had sold my 6400 Omar that we had, that I previously used. I had a little Husky saw on that 6400 that I cut firewood for that Hardy wood stove, and I sold it when I moved in because I thought, oh, all I ever need is a little chainsaw, right? And that little Husky I'd had for years anyway, and you know, I thought I didn't need it. So when I went to cut my trees, had access to that old 61 Husky that I got that JK redone for me, and I started cutting them, and it was running kind of rough, and I thought, nah, I'm just gonna go buy me a saw. So I went to the hardware store and bought me that first Echo 590, and that's what I cut all my stems with, and that's what I done every tree with there for a little while. And then I ended up getting into you know, the 300 series Huskies and everything. And of course my family, when, you know, logging and whatnot, they ran different stuff, mainly steel, but I've been around saws a long while. I have other family that's had Huskies and whatnot. I run the Husky saws for a long while, and they always done me good and give me a pretty good deal, and that's why I run Husky. But that's kind of how I got into the tree work. And sometimes I do it, you know, I was more busy than others. Sometimes I would just I took a break from it, you know, or whatever. Not a break, but I just wouldn't stay as busy. And sometimes I stayed pretty busy. But in the past couple of years, 2.5 years maybe, I've been doing it like kind of like a side gig or whatever, I guess you could say. I've had that one Husky saw. Shoot, I've had it for, let's see, probably 15 years, and I never really had no trouble out of it. And it's nothing special. It was just a homeowner's, well, I ain't got any more. I got rid of it, but It's just a homeowner's light version. And then, you know, and then, you know, my stepdad and step-grandparents, they had a farm, so you cut trees and they burnt wood and everything from time to time there, you know what I mean? So I've been around it about all my life. And then when I was younger, I mean, me and Dad, we'd cut firewood and sell it, so it's, I mainly done the splitting then, but, it's just one of them deals. I've always enjoyed doing it. And you can make a little money at it, so why not get after it? And like I say, I'm not the most knowledgeable person. Yeah, I don't think I'm the silliest either, but because you can make a little money at it. But what I'm getting at, if you cut wood, or even if you log for somebody or whatever, and you want a little extra money or what, hey, go do a couple trees on the weekend yourself. I still work a full-time job and I stay fairly busy. But there's been times I go do one tree on the weekend, it'll be $1,000, $1,500. Get it done in 8 hours. Of course, I have help, get my son, his buddies to do it or whatever. So, or help me. And, my wife helped me quite a bit before we started watching the grandbaby. Pretty regular, pretty much full time. And that's why I've been a little slow on making YouTube videos too, because I've been, been helping her with him somewhat, the best I can. I don't, I still try to come down here and piddle some, but he's at that age, he's, I think, a year and a half old, or not a year and a half. He was a year in December, so December the 2nd, a year old, so, coming on close to a year and a half, and he's really, really busy. So it takes a lot to watch him, or, a lot of attention. You can't just, you ain't gonna just glance at him. He's wanting to get, But yeah, so that's how I got it, that's kind of how everything's been going. That's how I got into doing trees and working. And like I say, I've been around logging from the time before I ever graduated high school, helping and everything. So I kind of knew the ins and outs of it in a way, And I ain't got no lies to tell either. I learned a lot of stuff on YouTube just watching other people cut. I knew how to fell a tree, don't get me wrong, but learning more of the ins and outs on lifting them and wedging them and cutting, everything like that, Main thing is, you ain't got to be experienced 20 years. You just got to have good common sense, and if you're going to do something, make sure you think it through and have a game plan, and then don't be nervous or scared. Just do what you think is right and leave plenty of holding wood. And I still do that to this day. If I think a tree is going to be, if it's a tree that I haven't ever, if it's in a position or in a shape that I've never experienced it before, like with a lean or something, it's a different size tree, heavier in the top, more limby, or different time of the year, because in the summer, hardwoods are a whole lot heavier in the top than they are in the winter. So I'll leave a bunch of holding wood and try to start wedging and or pulling my rope or whatever and see if I can even get it moving in the direction that I want it to. And if I think it's too bad, I definitely put a rope in it, so. But I've I've lifted quite a few heavy, big trees, and they was back leaning to the house pretty good, and it's the first ones I'd ever done like that. You know, I've cut trees out in the woods that was leaning pretty heavy, but kind of swing them around or cut them just whichever way they lay or whatever, doesn't matter. Or if, you know, you did try to lift them and they went the wrong way, it wasn't just the end of the world, which it wouldn't be, I guess, the end of the world if you hit the house, but it'd be more worse than if you know, hit a tree you're trying to save out or something like that. You know is what I'm saying. House a little more important than cutting out in the woods, so that's just one of them things. It's gonna take me a while to roll these up, I'm afraid. A long while. I may just crumble them a couple times. I'm not gonna look when I draw anyway, so. This is gonna be a long video, but like I say, I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm putting them in there, and I think there's like over 400 entries, if I ain't mistaken. Maybe over 600. I can't remember. I counted, but I can't exactly remember. I've had these cut up for a little while, week and a half, ever since I hit 3,000, or a couple days after I hit 3,000. I just hadn't had a chance. I was wanting to go live, but I just hadn't had a chance to do that. So, and next weekend we're going on vacation, so, or a little small vacation, a little weekend getaway, like Friday through Monday, and so that's, you know, the deal there. I've got a couple more blowdown trees to go look at. People want to get up, and I still got to go get the one at the barbecue joint, and I got to clean up at get the last loads out there where I've been felling trees at, and fell a couple more. I've been slowed down because my tractor, my bucket linkage on my tractor, they give out. Some of them heavy ones I lifted or something, where I got into a pinch and I tried to roll my bucket. It sprawled them out, and they were bent, and I was tearing down my steps the other day when it was kind of drizzling rain, couldn't do nothing else. It had been raining off and on and whatnot, and when I was trying to get them block loose, then it went ahead and finished them off. So I got them ordered. They're expensive, $50 for a little bitty 1/4-inch piece of steel, about 8 inches long, but you got to have them. That's what helps roll the bucket, so, or roll the forks. Crazy. But ran some saws earlier today. I got the Amazon saw out. Ran the 572 against the 592, and all that kind of good stuff. So I gotta go get me a drink. Y'all gonna have to wait a minute. I'll be back. Sorry. This video's 40 minutes long. But that's okay to me. Like I say, you don't see all this. You can just skip forward it. Well, I'm telling a little story, and try to do this faster somehow. It's kind of a primitive way to do it, but I'm not real smooth on a computer as far as putting names in, spinning the wheel, and all that. So we do it old school here, and that's just the way it is. But I ran the 572 against the 592 today, and tried that semi-skip chain with the rakers on the hardwood setting, rakers on the softwood setting. I'm gonna do a chain, my style grinding it, semi-skip, get one out of the box with the rakers hardwood, softwood setting, and then do it my style. Round file the semi-skip with the rakers set like I set them, and then maybe get a full comp chain out of the box and see which one's faster. I'm gonna do some chain comparison. Cause I feel like that square ground would be faster if you could get a different angle on it, but the problem is they've got it set at like a, under a 25-degree angle, I think, or just right at it, right under it. It's like 26 degrees maybe, and it's, I don't feel like it's as hungry as it could be, or whatever. So I'm gonna roll these up a little better. Feel like, say, I wanna, no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna put it all on the channel. And if you don't watch all this, you can skip through it to who wins or whatever. But I'm not going live. It's gonna be, this is kind of like it's live, just only that you're not commenting and stuff. Like, say, cause I got thinking, I ain't going live. I'm sitting here doing this. It'd be hard for me to be answering people's questions and talking to them, and I don't want to look over anybody, or try not to, so channel's growing really well, and kind of been a little slower on putting content out, which I've got some footage from today, and got more stuff to do as far as tree work and everything, but just been extremely busy. Good night. Which busy is good. It keeps you going. I feel like so. There's tons of names. Should have somebody down here helping me do that. Like I say, this is gonna probably be the last drawing like this. I may just go through and people picking comments, or like I say, I may do that membership deal. Get a little further into that. Membership deal, members only or whatever. It costs so much a month for you to be in it, I think. And I don't know all the ins and outs. I know my YouTube creators thing that they send me has brought it up, but thought about doing it if you're members only. You may get, may try to give a saw away, depending on how many you want to do it, and leave it in the comments if you see this, if you want to do it, if you'd be interested in doing it, and depending on how much I charge for it or whatever, try to give a saw away. If I get a lot of money, if it's a lot of you that want to do it every 3 months, or do it every month, or it might be every 6 months, once a year, just depending on how much, at least enough to pay for the saw that I'm giving away. And then, and once you win, put you at the back of the line. That way, you have a chance. Everybody has a chance of winning or something. And I don't know how that'll work, but we'll see. Or I'll just, like say, get it from the comments. If I know you've been watching, you say something or comment something that I know you've been in there and watching the video, then you'll be put in. I may just randomly pick somebody, you know, I don't know. And I may do something like this. I'll have to think on it, you know, try to keep stuff relatively fresh. But I know one thing. I'm gonna figure out something on doing this. Cause this is taking forever. I know it's boring, but like I say, I just wanna make sure that everybody knows that every name that was on that paper got cut up and put in there. And how I got it out of the comments, I just went through the first video and as I seen the name and the number, wrote it on the paper. You know, next video, same thing. So there's no rhyme or reason on how the names was wrote down on the paper, but they'll all be mixed up and everything. And like I say, if you don't watch this, you can skip through it. It'll probably take forever for this thing to load on you, you know, as far as the channel goes. But I'm not going live, so this is the closest next thing. So y'all can let me know what you think about live feeds or whatever, and I may try to start going. But there's quite a few people that do lives on the weekends, you know, and that I watch anyway, so I don't necessarily watch the lives, but I know Saturdays there's one in the morning, one in the afternoon a lot of the times, and then Sunday there is. Sunday morning a lot of people go to church probably, and you know, so Friday nights everybody's off work wanting to rest, or that's when they go out with their family sometimes and they eat. So I don't know. Hard to know when a good time would be to do it. And plus, you know, it's hard my schedule as well, doing things, because I'm pretty much either working or cutting or doing something, you know. I don't idle much. And sometimes don't get me wrong, I'm like everybody, but doing this, keeping this YouTube deal going, which I really enjoy the YouTube deal. And it's, you know, not making a killing off of it, but it's money I didn't have before, and doing this kind of stuff anyway, cutting. So all you gotta do is turn the camera on. If you're thinking about a YouTube channel or whatever, do it. I mean, at you know, one time I was kind of hesitant about doing it, and you watch my earlier videos, you don't hardly see me on there. But after a while, it ain't much different talking to the phone or the camera or whatever than it is talking to somebody you know or whatever. Just is what it is. And I've never really been a person that cares really what anybody else thinks anyway, so. If you don't like me, you can kiss my ass. That's the way I look at it. Don't like what I do, don't watch, you know. Get a lot of keyboard warriors on there saying this and that, you know. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't watch it. I told a guy the other day, or yesterday as a matter of fact, he was talking about that 592 and what I should do and what he was doing. I said, I don't really remember anybody asking you. And I meant that. I didn't ask him what he thought. I don't care what he thinks. If you want to be positive and try to just give advice, that's a little different than being all snooty about it. I don't mind constructive criticism. Somebody trying to help me out or whatever, you know, or saying, hey, you know, I've done it like this. That's helped out. But to be just plain shitty about it, not me. Yeah, starting to see the table anyway, so. Maybe. Had to put a new carburetor on that Makita. The old one done the same thing. Or this one done the same thing my old one did. Factory carburetor that come off of it. Draining the gas tank. You know, only made those couple cuts on that beech tree. And come down here, start it to warm it up, just tune it up. I was going to cut with it. Well, I cut with it today. That was yesterday. Pull them out of gas. Poured it a few times. The exhaust full of gas pouring out of it. So I had 2 backups. I put it on. I've got it on video. I'm going to share that. It's a little longer video, no edit. So it's actually uploading now, or has been uploading over the weekend. Or took a while to upload, so. I know the last name. One of Danny Welchels, I cut his last name off, but the first of it's Danny. So if I pull up a Danny, it's Danny Welchel. No, you know, it's just the first name. So there you go on that. And one reason I didn't go live is because, you know, not everybody probably would have been available to be watching and everything, and you know, some people would be, and everybody might have been on there, but you know, I just felt like this might be a little better. I started that 395 up yesterday evening just to make sure it ran, and after I get done with the name drawing and everything, we'll fire it up real quick. I didn't put a lot of gas in it. I'll fire it up real quick. I still got to clean it up, and I'll work on that after I get done here. Get it cleaned up, boxed up, and get it put in a box, and whoever wins, give me your name and your address within, you know, a few days, and I'm gonna say 3 days from the time this video comes out, and acknowledge that you won. Send me your info. My email is in the about section on my page. And when you email me, if I don't respond right then, you can text me and say, or message me on that on YouTube and tell me that you sent your information or whatever. There's going to be, every time somebody gives something away, there are scammers in the comments. I will not ask you for nothing. All I want you to do is email me your information to that email that's in the about page. I will not ask you for no money. I will not ask you for any kind of shipping. I will not ask you for anything. I am asking you to email me, but my email is in my about, and that'll get you directly to me. I put my email in the about. It's my secondary email, so I don't look at it all the time. Or you know, it's not on me every time, all the time, like on my phone or whatever. But you know, it's when I do giveaways and whatnot, I check it a little more briefly, more frequent than I do if there's not. So. Had a lot of companies reach out to me wanting me to do different things. Suspenders, try their editing software, try, you know, their chaps, their tools, and I'm not doing that anymore. I done that with Hypa. They give me a code, And, you know, I thought it was a pretty good deal because y'all would be getting percentages off. But, you know, I'm not going to do it with just some bam wham company. If I do anything else, I done it back a long time ago because my channel was young, and it still is, just a little over a year old, and it's progressed well. I'm real happy with the way everything's went. A lot of subscribers. Of course, I put out a lot of content. You know, I'm pretty full force on the content, and you know, you got to punish people with your success. You got to try to ram it down their throats, and that's the way I try to do with videos. I try to, you know, put out a lot of content. You know, there was at times there in October when I was trying to hit my deadline, you know, to get monetized or whatever, I'd be sometimes putting out 2 videos a day. And, you know, more shorts, more videos, it gets you more views, and more views leads to more subscribers and stuff. So, but anyway, I thought it would help y'all, you know, everybody out, you know, use my promo code, you know, or whatever. But I'm just not going to do that unless it's, from now on, unless it's a company that I personally use already, and which I did use HIPAA parts before I ever knew that. But what I'm getting at is I'm not just doing some wham bam thank you company. I did that HIPAA mainly at first because my channel was young, and I thought, man, that's cool. People's already wanting to send me stuff or whatever, and not that they have a bad product. They don't. It's just, you know, I want to deal with somebody that I can talk to directly on the phone, not email or meet in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know their company's going to be there, the people's going to be there, and, you know, even if the person gets let go or whatever, or quits, that I've still got that same deal with the company. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against the companies that's reached out to me. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do every little startup company that comes along. Like I say, unless it's something that I really truly believe in and truly going to use. And when I say nothing against startup company, if it's a good product, sure, I'll do it. But and they're probably not startup companies. You know, they've had product up for a long time, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just you know, just not going to do it. I'm not going to turn my channel into a bunch of commercials or a bunch of videos about products like that. You know, I have done videos on products that I use and I think is great, and I still will do that, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. They tend to, you know, send you something and want you to do a video right then and everything, and then you may hear from them again, you may not. That's what I'm getting at. If I'm going to do something with somebody, I want a long term deal, you know, and it's something they'll be using, and a company that's actually big in the saw or tree falling industry, or not, maybe not even big, but something that's very useful. You know what I mean? You know, and I'd like to talk with startup companies. You know, I'd like to get axe handles or something like that, go on a line of axe handles with people, and or something like that, axe heads, hard hats, chain or something, bars, you know, whatever it may be, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But not a lot of people just trying to throw stuff at me just to put a video out for their stuff. And not that HIPAA's not a bad company, and that suspender company's not a bad company. I guess they probably got good suspenders, but just not gonna do it. I want it to be a real good deal. Not only for me, but for y'all as well. You know, like if that company with like my cut pants that I got, they reach out to me and want me to, you know, I do that. Because I wear that product and they're good pants, they're comfortable pants. So that is what it is, but yeah. This is going to be one long video. But as you can see, everything has been put in there. And we'll just do what we do. I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. You know, be able to give us all away, and you know, and to have as many stalls as I do. Not that I'm over wealthy, because that's definitely not the case. Just hoping in the end game it comes back to, and it pays, you know, it pays off for me with the YouTube channel and everything. Got no lies to tell, you know. I hope, and I don't want, you know, it doesn't matter to me if you know, it'd be nice if the channel got big and I was making thousands of dollars a day or whatever, but, or we, whatever. But even if it doesn't, just if I can get a return on some of the stuff I can give away, and or it gets big enough that I make, you know, a fairly good amount of money, and I can give more stuff away, or do some tree work for nothing, and or whatever the case may be, you know, that'd be cool. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, I'll give quite a few saws away. If I can get the return on them, that's awesome. And you know, I eventually will, because as long as I keep putting out videos, because like I say, I'm already making money. I just ain't making, you know, I ain't making enough to quit the day job, but or side work. But you know, the side work's what got me as far as I am right now, and I ain't making enough that I could quit my day job and go full-time side work. I'm not never gonna quit working. We're always going to be doing something, but anyway, you know, that'd be a nice goal for one day. This channel to pay enough that I can give more stuff away, give more saws away, and maybe quit my full-time job and go to cutting trees full-time. And I probably, you know, I could quit right now and go full-time cutting trees, but you know, I'd have to hustle to make work. Get work and probably not film as much, because I'd be having to go at it full force, you know. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm plumb tickled with the way the channel has grown in the past year. It's you know, nearly 3,500 subscribers now, and just a little over a year and 2 months. That's, to me, that's really good, really impressive, and I hope it keeps going. I'll try to be pretty real. I try not to be fake. Well, I'm not being fake. I'm just me. I try to show my mistakes, because Lord knows I make plenty with cutting trees. You know, it just is what it is. Nobody's perfect, and you know, some people video stuff and they just show everything that goes good. And you know, that's not life. It don't matter how long you've been doing something, and if you're really good at something, you can do it 100 times, and all 100 times do it a little different. You know, you get the same result, but you know, you just, sometimes you're off. I can not fall a tree in a while. When I go to do my face cut, you know, I'm in my notch. I'm, you know, sometimes a little off. I'm a little, not terribly rusty, but I'm a little rusty, you know, and I ain't doing it day in, day out. So, you know, I just try to show everything, and and share what I do or what I have to go through, you know. And so far that's done me pretty well on the channel, I think. And I don't know how to edit real fancy and do split screens and do this and that and all this fancy stuff. Pretty much just me and the camera. And I know how to, about the only thing I know how to do editing video is to cut stuff out or speed it up and mute it and type a text. That's all I know how to do. I don't know how to split the screen. I don't know how to leave links in the descriptions for people. I don't know how to do all that. Probably could figure it out or have somebody show me, but honestly, if it wasn't for the job I have right now, I would not know as much about these phones as what I do, and that's no joke. I just wouldn't know, because I've never been a real big video game player, computer person. I do like watching YouTube videos, and some TikTok videos ain't terrible. Thought about doing a TikTok, but I don't know. A lot of whining goes on over there. Everybody get always reporting people and stuff, and I ain't about that. They get mad. Report, you gotta make a new account, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You get, don't get me wrong, people whine on YouTube, but it ain't terrible. It's not as bad as, I ain't got a name on it. It's not as bad as, not as bad as, some of these I'm gonna roll up. TikTok. Some of these I was done in a little bit of a hurry. They ain't rolled quite as tight as what they could be. It's my OCD kicking in. I was gonna leave them, but I just can't. I just can't leave them. Alright, I think you're going well enough, man. Here's two more. Alright, so good luck to y'all, whoever it is. Maybe one more. That's kind of flattened out. No, damn, I just keep finding them. Got sloppy there for a little bit. Alright, good enough. I don't care. Done with it. Getting on with it. Alright. I can get the lid of this thing. I'm gonna really do some shaking. I hope I'm still recording. Yeah, I am. Hour and 8 minutes. Alright. Mix it around, I'm not looking. It is who it is. It is what it is. I've got the name. Shawn Wilson. Shawn Wilson. That's the winner of the $395, and we'll go start it real quick. I'm gonna go clean it up. All right, got me one of them new fancy spill-proof gas stoves, man, and pretty cool. Cleaned the wood up out from the here too that I was cutting. Here we go. compression button's nice on this one. She starts nice. There you go. I can't remember if I said this came with the bar or not, so somebody let me know in the comments, and we'll go from there. So, Shawn Wilson, you have 3 days from the time this video comes out to give me your info, and if you haven't in that amount of time, let me know that you acknowledge that you win, then we'll draw somebody else. We'll not throw these names away just in case he no longer watches, which I'm sure if he commented on that many videos, he commented on quite a few. I'm sure that he will, you know, see it. So, but you never know. Anyhow, appreciate everybody. Let me know the info, Shawn. I'll try to get out to you as quick as I can. And that's about it. We'll see what the next giveaway is. Give me some time to think on it, and I'll announce it then. We'll see y'all later.